on, everybody? Welcome to the Clubhouse. Of course, I am Geddes, and I'm here with the boss and the GOAT, Donardo and Ryan. How are y'all doing, gentlemen?
I'm doing pretty good. So Ryan's your boss now?
No, it's. Oh, did I put the wrong way? It's this camera.
Well, you said the GOAT, so I obviously understood that.
The boss and the GOAT. No. Unfortunately, that's Ryan. Ryan has to be the GOAT. I'm sorry.
I am the Godfather, so I technically could be the boss, right?
You could be. We could. I think I'll leave that one alone. But yeah, what's going on, Donardo? You're wearing Adidas. We don't rock Adidas anymore.
Listen, I'm sorry. I've been out and about right now. I put on a shirt that's just whatever. I'm packed for Bradenton tomorrow. Like, I don't give a shit.
We don't wear Adidas anymore. Kanye
So
said we're not supposed to wear Adidas.
I still do.
Huh?
Look at Geddes and I with the Pirates.
Yeah, I am rocking the Pirates jersey for the first time that I bought like last year. So I figured, hey, why not? We're coming up on it's spring training now, isn't it? So why not rock the jersey? So yeah,
that's how we know you have money. It's the first time wearing it in a year.
No, I have the hookup. I got the hookup on people that can hook me up. So yeah.
I'm aware.
Is that a McCutcheon jersey?
Is that the what? I'm sorry.
Is it McCutcheon or is it?
No, it doesn't have a number on the back of it. It's just it was when Nike dropped whatever these jerseys are. I don't know, but there's no number or anything. I just bought it. It was the only one that they had. So I was like, all right, fine, I'll rock this one then. This way, nobody ever gets traded.
At least it's not see-through.
Right.
Yeah, that jersey you're wearing is better than the current MLB jerseys. So there you go.
Oh, the big PGH one?
Well, no. Just like the.
Are you not aware?
Yeah,
I'm not aware.
Oh man.
Oh, Geddes doesn't know the New Jersey issue with Nike and.
No, well, I saw that the it doesn't line up with like the button or something like that. I did see that.
Oh, it's worse.
It's all bad. It's horrible.
The pants are like legit see-through.
You can see through the pants.
See-through. Like there's pictures, it's see-through.
What? So I guess Nike's changing the way the pants are. Or is it just specific to the Pirates?
No, this is all MLB.
It's across baseball.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so they wanted to have more airflow, aerodynamics. Look, Nike knows what they're doing. So let's just trust what Nike's doing.
They're pretty bad, Geddes.
Okay.
You got to see them compared to last year's. They're pretty bad.
Okay, then I'll check them out. I'll check them out.
Don't peek too hard. That's all I'm saying.
They look like the jersey you get off of like some China website. You know, some knockoff. That's seriously what they look like.
Well, hey, China. Look, they're trying to appeal to another demographic of people. So this is how you do it. You show the goods. Sex sells, just like Donardo's post that he posted on North Shore 9 a few hours ago. That's going off, right?
Sure.
I'm gonna hit you with the horny stick. But yeah, awesome. Let's get into the show. I've been Buckle Mike has been on my ass because I've been MIA. He didn't even ask for the reason why I've been MIA. It could have been something serious. It could have been a death in the family, whatever it is, but he didn't even ask. So I figured, hey, why not we discuss this? We could discuss a little bit. We could discuss a little bit before we get to some other stuff here. So I'm gonna ask you, Ryan, because I'm gonna make you the arbiter of truth today. Okay. You tell me if I'm being sensitive. You could do that, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Okay. So Donardo knows me. Donardo knows me. Donardo, how long have we known each other, Donardo?
Damn too long, that's for sure. But actually, it has been. It's crazy how long it has been. I mean, actually, I think it's
15.
It's been 15 years.
Has it been 15 years?
Yeah. Like this year probably marks like 16 years that we know each other.
Yeah. See, now Donardo has seen me at my best, and Donardo's also seen me at my worst.
I also have video of some of those, by the way.
Yeah. He's seen me at my best, and he sees me at his worst, right? So I'm gonna tell the story. If you're okay with me telling the story, right, Donardo?
Sure.
He's
I'm not quite sure what story it is, but yeah, absolutely.
Whether he wants to discuss it or not, I'm going to bring it up. All right, so why was Geddes MIA? Because Geddes was butthurt. Geddes was upset. So yeah, exactly. So we got inner workings going on. The North Shore 9 is a big conglomerate. Some people might even call North Shore 9 a plant, but we'll get into that. But we're going through some things, making some changes and stuff like that, and Geddes offered his opinion, and Geddes felt attacked. He felt attacked. He felt upset by the opinions he gave, that he asked to give and was given, and he felt like he was being attacked by some members of the North Shore Nine. Ryan, you're in the group chat. Did I take this the wrong way, or was I just for my week-long hiatus?
So wait, we're not talking about the rankings, right? We're talking about you when you left the group chat, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, look, the group chat dynamics is just a whole nother world. Like, it's just so many things going on in this group chat. There's a lot of stuff that happens in that group chat that could be taken sensitive or not sensitive, but I think it had built to a certain level where I believe, in your eyes, I don't think you were sensitive to the, oversensitive or whatever, where you couldn't leave. I think it's just other people don't, like Jim obviously wasn't, he didn't think it was that over the top or that level. And that's what happens on text. And when you don't, things get lost in the line, or you don't know.
But Donardo knows me. Donardo knows me.
Yeah, Donardo kind of piled on.
So?
I will agree on that. Donardo definitely piled on.
Donardo knows. So what's so funny is like Donardo. I was in my head, I'm like, Donardo knows me. He knows me. He knows me.
I knew that there was a tension building, but I don't know if like Jim and Donardo knew that, but I'm assuming Donardo did. But
Donardo had to. Come on, Donardo. You knew.
I have a hard time when I see opportunity. I like to pounce.
You
was kind of funny. It was kind of funny, but there was no malice. Like, there was no true malice I felt involved. I'm just gonna say, you were kind of soft, Geddes.
I was soft.
You were kind of soft.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Hey, we talked though, but go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead, Ryan.
Well, I was gonna say I've told Geddes I've left that group chat at least three times, so I get it. And I've somehow gotten sucked back in. But Donardo did send that. I don't think you were in it at that point, Geddes, because I think we added you and then you left again. And then
he did.
Donardo didn't even realize.
Because you want to know why I did it? Because you didn't ask me if I wanted to be back in. You just did it.
Yeah,
I'm like, you know how mad I am about this.
In the North Shore Nine group chat.
Back in.
Yeah. So Donardo, I don't even think realized for like another day that you were like not in it like you had left again. So Donardo did send like the dad text out and was like, look, we need to, button this up and everybody chill out and stuff. So he did send that out. I don't think you were in it at that point. But yeah, it's just like same thing. Like I've left before, then Jim left like 3 days after that. It's just
Cody left.
Know, yeah, you don't know what people are going through on any particular day, and sometimes we are harsh, or you don't think you're as harsh, but you are, and it just comes off as bad, and people take it as the wrong way, or maybe people take it the right way, and it just the way they just get too much and they leave. But yeah, the whole group chat dynamic could be a whole nother show. Like God forbid if somebody sends a tweet or a news story that like somebody already brought up 3 hours ago. Like, oh, that's like the worst.
Repost.
Yeah. That is the worst. Because it's like, oh, if we got that. Scroll up, Donardo. Scroll up, Ryan. So like, sometimes you're working and you check your phone and there's like 87 texts and you're like, dude, I can't catch up with all these right now. So then you send a news article and it's like, you're the idiot because, somebody already sent that. So it, group chat is, or group text, whatever. It's always a fun.
I don't feel bad then because this is just common practice.
I think so.
This is just common practice. Somebody gets annoyed enough, somebody leaves the group chat, and that's it. And maybe they come back and what. So yeah, no, I was annoyed. So that's why I was gone. That's why I was gone for a week, and then I was busy too. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take the week off so I can cool down because I remember texting Donardo. I was like, Donardo, I'm out. Because I was pissed, and I'm like, Donardo, you know my temperament. Why are y'all pressing my buttons? You know me.
So can I speak my truths?
Yeah, go ahead.
But no, for real. So like, you say I've known you for how long, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's true, right? But you've also known me for how long? And I like to poke the bear.
That's a problem when you know my temperament.
I like to poke the bear, and there was some poking going on, but again, like it didn't come from a place of malice. And I thought I didn't think you were at that level, but obviously you were, and we talked afterwards. I mean, as soon as you left the group, or actually, I don't think you left the group chat yet. I think I called you like right away, and then you left the group chat. But we talked, and I thought, like I understood. So to kind of put it out there, like Geddes had a thought process, and we hashed some things out in the group chat. There were some things we all agreed on. There were some things we didn't, back and forth, whatever. And with your information you provided, we actually did change some things and like lean towards like, we should do this, but how do we do it? Again, with our differences that we thought of opinion, right? We think we tweaked some things and we used some information to change some things. We started doing it. And as we saw stuff happening, we were just kind of poking at you, hey, not to put too much out there, but whatever. Like we would just start saying stuff and just like, oh, well, no thanks to get or something like that. You know what I mean? And you kind of took it to heart, and we kept poking at it, and yeah. So
well, see,
there were some issues going on in the group chat for a little bit of time.
Yes, Jim was leading it. Jim was leading the rally cry, right?
Yes.
And I'm like, I don't think Jim knows me. I was like, this is not what you do because I don't handle this very well. I was like, that's why I'm like always PC, because I'm like, I don't want to. Once I turn, I turn. So I was like, I was like, so at first it was like I thought it was a joke, and then I was like, oh, he's bringing up supporting documentation, and I was like, all right. I was like, you know what?
Exhibit A.
I'm like, I said all this stuff, and you only pulled that one little piece out of it, man. I'm out. Like I'm out. All I want is the best for DiNardo with North Shore 9. So I was like, yeah, come on, man. I was like, I'm out. But the things like that happen. I think it's good that it happened, though. I think it's good. Everybody got their beef in and kind of got it out. So
and now
we're here again.
And the way I preference this, like when I talk to you, Geddes, about it too. And again, it's difference of opinion, it's difference of personality and whatnot, right? But like I used it. If I feel like a lot of us, and I'm motivated in certain ways too, right? But like I feel like there's some motivational techniques here, and to think about a year ago that Jim and Tyler would be doing TikToks would just blow your mind, right?
I would agree with that. I would agree
into this space. And there's no way Jim and Tyler are doing TikToks. I mean, they pretty much outright said it, but we knew we had to, right? And I never really said this to anyone except for you in that conversation, right? But I made myself that dude. I made myself not the bad guy, but like I wanted them to all troll me, right? I was making TikToks, and it was like a big competition, and it was like I was making bad ones. I was making sure that they felt like they were going to punish me and dominate me, and that like inspired them to do them because they're going to dunk on me and dunk on me and dunk on me. And
so that's why you had all those bad
I was poking them right and left, right? And whatever. And what happened? They're damn near TikTokers at this point, right?
Yep.
So like I understand some motivation with them. So like I kind of use this as that as well. So you were just that guy that's they were going to keep poking at you and saying, look,
I was the victim of your manipulation.
Correct. But and that's what I'm saying. Like, but think about this. We're talking about, did that not inspire some things in what we're doing right now?
Oh, 100%.
So that's kind of what I'm getting at.
100%. See,
it's a weird dynamic we have. Trust me, it is weird, and some people get in their feelings. All of us have gotten into our feelings about it.
We're like an NFL.
Once we get
Clubhouse.
past that, like it works. The Clubhouse is actually great.
We're like an NFL locker room, man. We got too many personalities, egos. We're just like everybody else in the NFL.
See, Ryan, but let me explain this part of this. See, this is the part of this this story that DiNardo should have probably played, at least when it came to me, a little bit different. See, DiNardo is a good, nice guy that will act like the bad guy. That ain't me. That is not me. I am not a nice guy. Right.
Geddes is a bad guy that acts like a nice guy.
Basically. So I'm just so if you want to paint me as the bad guy, I'm gonna act like him. I'm gonna act like him. So that's true. But yeah, like I said, I mean, it was it's all water under the bridge now. But you did mention motivation, so that was a nice little segue because I wanted to talk about this too. Me and Ryan had a conversation. I hope you don't mind me bringing this up, Ryan. We had a conversation, and me and Ryan would like you to explain to us the Twitter dynamic and how you use Twitter to motivate you.
I think I know what you're asking, but tell me exactly what you mean by that.
I don't want to bring up any Twitter. I don't want to bring up anybody's.
No, you don't have to. But like, what do you mean by like using Twitter?
Like certain people.
Are you just basically asking me like what motivates me?
I'm saying that again.
Are you basically just asking like what motivates me? Or
yeah, like there's people on Twitter there's some people on Twitter that probably
I know where we're going with this.
Of your attention, and some people that aren't.
Let me put it this way.
Go ahead.
Way back, Pod Hub Network, when Cody was on it with his show Back to the Berg, right?
Yeah.
I was on there with him, and we actually talked about this, not for the same reasons, but we actually talked about this. Mm-hmm. And before you like say some snarky ass stuff about when I use this analogy or comparison, I'm not putting myself as that person's shoes. But what I'm saying is,
I'm going to do it.
I relate to this person for this fact. All right. And obviously understand too, this is back in like 2020 or 2021 when we did this episode. Mm-hmm. But Michael Jordan.
So you call yourself Michael Jordan?
Exactly. That's what I'm getting at. Don't do that. What I can say is, so when you saw The Last Dance, and he basically like, what did you learn about Jordan? He had to have an enemy. He would make shit up about somebody.
I'll let you take this, Ryan.
Just to hate them, more or less, right? Just to have that enemy. That's what fueled him. That's what motivated him. You could be the nicest guy. You and me could be friends. You could be the nicest guy. I'm going to create something in my head to hate you, to want to murder you. And now that's what I'm going to use to get past you, to dominate you, to beat you. Right.
Right.
I relate to that, like as far as a personality goes. And again, I'm not Michael Jordan, but like growing up in sports, like whatever, like when I was playing basketball, like the person I was defending, I hated that person. You know, like it's just in general, like competitive wise, I have to have an enemy. I have to hate you. Now, I could honestly, like, we could be friends, but when it comes to competition, I hate you and I want to kill you.
Go ahead.
So what's like, can you understand where I'm getting at with that?
I understand that.
Yeah, I understand that.
So that's why I say I relate to that part of Michael Jordan. By no means am I Michael Jordan. So I'm fueled a lot with that. Like I will find things like if there's a goal and I want to get somewhere, like that's the person I hate. That's the person that's like on my bulletin board or whatever.
Wait a minute.
And yeah,
if all that's true, and I understand because I understand what that analogy.
Mm-hmm.
Why, when you and I were both on the North Shore 9 account together, why was I always the bad cop, but you were the good cop? Because everybody knew when I would tweet things out because I would start some shit.
Well, you're an asshole.
Well, there you go. But you're saying
a nice guy,
right? You're saying that, but you're saying you're motivated because you want to, take out the competition and all that.
Yes.
But you're too nice on Twitter. That's what I am getting at, I guess.
Just because I want to beat you doesn't mean I don't have to like you. Like so I'm getting at like get us now. Like we'd be friends. When it comes to competition, I'm going to dominate you. Doesn't mean I have to be mean to get us right now. But I'm going to find pieces. I'm going to find parts. I'm going to do whatever it is to just fuel me, and I'm fueled by hate.
So
honestly, like think about it. Like if you were to put. This is extremes, but like what I'm alluding to is
okay.
Well, you just
put like $100,000 in front of my face.
That's about extreme as you can
and
get.
Say like this is what you need. Like I don't know. I'm not like fueled by like money or positivity too much. Like that's not like again $100,000. Like I said, I'm using this as an extreme example, right?
Right.
But like that doesn't fuel me. What fuels me is hate. Like that GIF, like in Star Wars, like. Let the hate flow through you. Like that's me.
Does the gift that I always send to Jim?
Yes.
So does it fuel you enough to want to clap at somebody? Like if somebody says something,
it depends. It depends
on what
time.
It builds to when you blow up.
Created
on,
hate.
Say,
I don't need to. I don't need to clap at created hate because there's not a reason for it. But if someone actually is coming at me, then yeah.
So what's go ahead, Ryan. I'm sorry.
Well, okay, one thing. So because you're right, because you had a thing last week, which I just kind of alluded to, that you blew up. So you kind of build until it blows up. But they came at you first. Jordan sat back out and just made stuff up in his head to come at people. That's kind of like what Jordan's thing was. So
sure.
Now Jordan, that person was in front of Jordan,
and that's why I have. When I say that's why we have all these shows. That's why when I look at production value, like I want top-notch production. When I see someone who has something better, I can't let that happen. I have to have something better, right? When I see someone who has something like shitty, let's still do better. Like let's kill that. Like that's what I'm getting at. I will create things because I can't let that. I have to be better.
So let's use Tim as the avatar.
Okay.
So in order for us to have this discussion and not call anybody out that Donato doesn't want to call out, that me and Ryan wouldn't mind doing, but Donato doesn't want to do it, so we're not going to do it. So we'll use Tim. Tim is the avatar. So for those who don't know, or y'all could probably go into it a little bit more because I got into it at the tail end of it. So Tim, I'm gonna give it what I know. So Tim thinks that North Shore 9 is that we're at industry plants, right? Which I find to be interesting because
do you want me to set the table a little bit here?
I would please paint the picture.
Tim has kind of gone off on so he's in the deep end of the pool, let's say.
Right.
Let me say this. Let me start off by this also. State. Okay. Tim acknowledged what he said. Him and Jim, I guess, had a pretty long talk. No.
Don't start there. No. We end there.
Stop. So they worked it out. All right.
Yeah, but Jim works it out with everybody.
With him. But what I'll say is, this is also me on the outside also. I guess Ethan and Jim were talking about, just playfully, like just talking about something. I don't know what it was, but Jim brought up the thing about unions, right? Because if you know Ethan, he's not about certain things, right? He's about capitalism and such and whatever, right? And because of baseball, right? Like the joke about unions was a playful joke. And then it went somewhere, and I guess it involved Tim. And then Tim started like going at Jim. And more or less like, and again, this came out like I've respected Tim. Tim and I have had talks behind the scenes about multiple things, working together, and like we were part of baseball at one point, like doing shows, with them and such. And like, I've never had any issue with Tim, like at all, ever. And then like he alluded to the fact that Jim couldn't be as successful as he is. How does he go around the country traveling, doing this podcast and stuff like that? And again, like that's where I don't play. So to your point, Ryan, right now, and this isn't like me just trying to come in because it like that just seemed too like, first off, you're shitting on Jim, and also at the same point, like you're involving all of us now at this point in time,
right? The whole squad.
Like, if you do know me too, like I will speak my mind when needed. And this is what I felt, and I'm just like, this is BS. Like, you want to say like, come, as Ryan pointed out, come talk to me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
I'm 40.
Come on, that way. I didn't think that at the time, but I pretty much said like come at me, like let's
come after me.
It's like, say some shit to me then, because we work too damn effing hard to do what we do, and we have a goal we want to achieve. And everything I just said about like, creating this enemy to get somewhere, to motivate, to do all this stuff, like we want to be big. We want to grow. We want to do some things. And in order to do that, you got to put in the work, right?
Right. That's the
so we're putting in the work right now. We're putting in the work. We are absolutely putting in work. So I'm not going to have someone like minimize that to assume the only way we could be here is because we're an industry plant. Which, by the way,
what does that even mean?
Do you see the shit that we say sometimes? Like
right.
I get hammered so much for being, I'm a bigger problem than Bob nutting to this fan base because of the stuff that I say.
Yeah,
I've been told that. I don't know how I could be an industry plant. I don't know what the Pirates are getting out of me by completely talking about this offseason, saying how disappointed I am in it. But that's another thing.
Yeah, like,
I'm just not about that. We're not going there.
how are like I didn't even I mean look, so just to kind of give more background, you know, because obviously, you know, Geddes doesn't, you know, he, you know, Pirates Twitter, but not like back in the day too. Like
Right,
Tim Williams created Pirates Prospects. He had his own site. It was a pay site, did very well for, you know, a good number of years. And I mean, he was not, you know, not like you want to say like, that's what we were like trying to achieve or something, but he
right.
was, you know, everybody around Pirates Twitter or pirate fans knew Tim and that he had a lot of subscribers. Well, that has since changed,
Oh
and
yeah.
Tim has kind of, you know, I don't know. He's going through a lot of things, I think, in his personal life and just overall, and he has kind of gone off the deep end, at least on Twitter, and everybody sees it, and everybody sees his long threads that he does, and it's just like, whoa, like what is happening here? So, you know, he says he's doing this 5-year long investigation and blah blah blah. So I don't really know what's going on with Tim and all that. But yeah, we kind of got sucked into his little rants. And, you know, and Donardo kind of blew up and it led from there. You know, and obviously, I guess
dropped. Go ahead.
He does have the site still now, Donardo, but like nobody's like, I don't think you can subscribe to it, right? It's like, I don't know. Like what?
I'm not sure. I'll just leave it at that.
Like
I'm not sure.
So, but he kind of like, instead of like doing his site, he'll write stuff out about the Pirates, but it's like a 20, you know, long tweet on Twitter or something. But then he goes into these rants and we just kind of became one of the rants because of something Jim had said back to Ethan, and it just kind of went from there. But Jim's Rosati's like Jesus, man. He forgives anybody. He's diving into DMs, talking it out with people. So like Jim smoothed it all over.
He's also a nice guy.
Yeah, who he is. Except for the time in the group chat when he left.
It is funny how like I think he and I pick and choose when or what. I don't know. It's weird because
y'all are very similar. What's interesting is that for those who are watching this that are on Twitter and say stuff that's stupid, just understand that me and Ryan have no problem saying stuff. It doesn't matter who the person is, but we got the leash on us so we don't do it. But like you and Jim are fairly similar. And I think me and Ryan are fairly similar in that sense. It's interesting too because when all this stuff was going on, I was just like, I was later in the night when I was following it, and then I saw one tweet, and that was Donato basically saying "F you," and then I was like, oh, I can speak freely now. I was like, 'cause he dropped the F-bomb, so I can freak. And I made one statement. I was like, bro, you sound broke. That was all I said. You sound broke. And of course it came with this extra stuff. And to be honest with you, I felt a little bad because then he started talking about his life and how, he had money and he had girls and that stuff made him upset. So now he wants to choose the route of being broke and being a Buddhist, which nobody would ever choose unless they had to choose it. So I'm just like, so I'm hearing these things and I'm like, okay, well, let me just kind of back off of him and just say, hey, look, just keep our names out your mouth. And that'll be it. Because look, I was itching. I was itching to jump down somebody's throat. Pause. And seeing that was enough for me to be like, I'll get involved in this. I'll go ahead and chime into this. And also, I did see what you said, Bucko Mike, but I'm just not saying anything to it. Here's your show. You got your show now. But anyway,
I almost got involved, but I think by that point Jim had kind of smoothed it over, and it was like, well, when am I going back and pulling all this out? So.
You light the match. You pour gasoline and light the match on it. That's what you do.
Well, I kind of missed my opportunity. I think I was late to the party, but right. Like the industry plant thing is hilarious because we've also gotten this recently too, Donardo, where for 5 years we were called apologists and this and that, and you guys are just just nuttings, speaker or whatever soundbite, and now we're getting people coming at us telling us we're haters and you're doing, like Donardo was alluding to, you're doing the team wrong, and like
we still get both though too. That's
we get like great. Both now.
You can't make everybody happy.
But like just because we're like, dude, like I'm 40 years old, for actually 41. Like this team has lost for 90% of my life, my lifetime. Like they've been horrible. Yeah. And it's been multiple GMs, it's been multiple ownerships, it's been develop. It just everything goes wrong for them, and they're to blame. They're to blame. Like that's the thing. Like, and people are we always banged on the wall about give them the benefit of the doubt. Back Neil Huntington, like they were working it through, but like at this point, we've seen Nutting just they're going to be cheap. They're not going to spend where we think they can spend, where they should spend. And they're just not going to do it. And so we're calling that out because we're tired and want to win at any cost. That's why I brought up, Trevor Bauer and Chapman and things like that.
Right.
Like, I want to win. But now we got people coming at us that were haters. And it's like, which one is it?
Well, it's interesting because I read a tweet that another Pittsburgh Pirate podcast posted, and I saw DiNardo's response to it, which I'm pretty sure it was DiNardo's response to it. It was a good response. I even think that it was a response that was because it seemed like they came off a little bit more optimistic about the Pirates' future and DiNardo and calling out people that they deemed as haters and whatnot. DiNardo, I think, rightfully so addressed it because, just like you said, if an organization is not doing well enough and is not providing you, is not willing to spend any money, and they're being cheap and won't sell the team because they can't afford it or whatever the reason may be, I think people are allowed to point that out and not just look through everything through rose-colored lenses.
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, that's pretty
and
much.
I feel like if you talk about this team, you probably should, because that's why I really didn't like about, and this is one particular person on Twitter, and I forget his name. I think it was like Be Smooth, and the guy went back so much. Anyways, got to calm down because that guy really pisses me off too. But anyways, the reason he pisses me off is for that, like I'm to blame, and it's my responsibility to help put seats into the stands by me talking about what's actually happening, which is the Pirates have been failures for 27 out of 31 years, right? Well, that doesn't do well. You should talk positive. You should try to do what you can. It's our responsibility to help put people in the seats, because if there's more people in the seats, there's more money for the Pirates, so Bob Nutting can spend more on the payroll and make this team better.
You would be a plant. At that point, you'd be a plant.
It's not my responsibility. Like screw you. Honestly, like F you. Like don't come at me telling me like I'm a problem by talking about what's actually happening in the state of the Pittsburgh Pirates, but not just being rose-colored and saying, guys, just put all your faith in this. It's going to be perfect. All these prospects, they're all going to hit. This guy's been injured 90% of his career. He'll be fine. He'll be okay. Stop it. Everyone should be talking nice about us. They've been failures for 27 of 31 years. There's probably reasons people aren't talking highly about them. Right. But again, as I go back in 2015, when they're the organization of the year, like these national writers couldn't stop praising the Pirates. Like you reap what you sow. If you want to be talked positive about, put out a product that's positive.
And that's the thing.
Put out a good product.
If the Pirates want positive, if you want positive stuff, do something about it. And then look, we started this. We didn't start this to be like, you know what? F the Pirates. We're going to start this podcast and just rail them into the ground. We started it because we're fans. We've been Pirate fans, most of our lives. So, we started it because we're fans, but we're going to, our thing was, we don't have some kind of media company behind us where, we have to, we have DiNardo behind us to watch what we say now, but we can't, we can say whatever we want. If I feel like, hey, they made a good move here, I'm going to say it. If I feel like they failed and they screwed up and their development's awful and they can't draft, we're going to tell you that too. And, the Pirates, just like you said, 27 to 31 years, most of our lifetime have been poor. They've been the bottom third of the league, and that's just where we're at. And it's like, I'm tired of it, my personally, and we want to win. So that but my thing is always, we're going to tell you our opinion, whether it's good or bad, whether it's for or pro, against the team. And that's it. Like, it just, so why do people come? I mean, I guess that's a good thing for us that, people see us in that light that we're, some people see us as apologists. Some people see us as haters. It's like, you can't win, but hey, people are talking about you, I guess. So
which is good.
I get that's the good side of it. But it's funny, are we an industry plant? Like, so what does that mean? Like, does that mean MLB came out and was like, here, go out and bash the Pirates?
No, Nutting did it.
Yeah, or are we pirate plants? Like, which one is? Are we the league plants, or are we just
maybe we're athletic plants? I don't know. That's a good point too. Plants of who? Who is
right? That's what I didn't understand.
Maybe we're both sides of the plants, and that's why we're getting double paid. That's why we can afford all of this stuff now.
Because MLB wants the Pirates to continue. Like every owner voted for the current setup. They want the small market teams to continue doing the small market things. So yeah, who are we a plant for? Like, it just doesn't. Just,
what it sounds like is a bit of entitlement. I don't know, or maybe that's not the right word. If my product isn't good, I cannot just simply say you need to buy these shoes that I make, right? They would be so much better if you would just buy them. So that way I can use the money to make a better shoe. I know these suck, but once you start buying these and you start giving me money, I'll be able to then invest the money to make it better. That's not how it works. That's not how anything has ever worked. You have to invest your money in first, and then the people will come out and come watch it. When the Jaguars are bad or any other team are bad or whatever, people don't go watch. But as soon as you start, you draft the draft pick, that's a player that's good, and everybody gets excited about that, then more people come. Then you start winning games, then more and more people come. People aren't going to sit out here and talk positively about a team that's trash, and everybody knows it's trash, and they're looking at it like, I'll be surprised if they win 70 games. So like, no, that's not how this works.
Yeah, I've said that for years since we started, Denardo. Like, people flip out about attendance, and this attendance is down, it's poor. If you win, people are going to come out. People will come. People will come. Like, and they came into that. It was delayed a year, but went 14 and 15. They averaged 30,000, over 30,000 fans a game. I had a fight with somebody on Twitter about that the other day. People came out. It wasn't a sellout every night. I mean, it's just not going to be. It's just
sure.
Baseball's got its own issues, but they got a lot of attendance. Most I've seen, probably in our lifetime. So if you win and you put a consistent product out, people will come out. And we've said this too. The Pirates have, like, all they had to do was go get a pitcher for like 15, 20 million. And people would have fallen all over themselves to love this team this offseason. And they didn't do it. Once again, they just failed to live up to any kind of the lowest bar of expectations possible.
You know what this is? It's very simple. It's like, listen, this is the best way that I can describe it. This is the way I describe my relationship with the Jaguars. Look. Listen here, lady, all I need from you, I don't need you to cook. I don't need you to clean. I don't care if you work. I don't care what you do. Just don't sleep with other guys. And she keeps sleeping with other guys. And you don't do any of the other stuff. I don't care. All I want you to do is just be with me and be faithful to me. What does she do every year? She sleeps with another guy. And then she comes back to me and says, I slept with somebody else. And I'm like, why did you tell me? You didn't even need to tell me because I didn't even know. You just ruined my year again. But you know what? I keep taking her back because next year she's not going to do me like that again. And sure enough, she does it again. And she does it again. And she does it again. So then what you want me to do now is to then talk glowingly about her, about how this upcoming year, she's not going to sleep with another guy. She's going to stay with me. She's going to be faithful to me. She's going to love me the way that I want to be loved. No, I'm going to talk about the fact that the last 14 years, she slept with other dudes. That's what I'm going to talk about because that's all she's been doing to me. Bro, like, what do you expect?
And the funny thing is,
toxic
think about the situation.
Toxic.
You're an idiot for staying, but you do. You're loyal. The fact that you're still here, with that happening, the fact that you're still there says a lot. So to also put blame on top of you, like, you should be buying her, you should now be buying her extravagant gifts in hopes that, well, if you were doing that, she wouldn't have to go sleep with somebody else. She would stay with you.
Right.
It's your fault, Geddes. What is wrong with you?
You're blaming me. I'm the victim here.
Like accountability, I feel is like my key word this whole offseason, especially with this dude. I just hate how, like, you don't want to hold them accountable for this. You're going to pass off blame to the fans. Like, it's the fans' fault we're feeling this way. They're not going to be held accountable. Like Ryan knows how much I love analogies, right? But like, are you going to blame the people who went to Blockbuster for no longer going to Blockbuster? Well, it's your fault. Why did you guys leave us?
Right.
No, blame Blockbuster for being dumb and not smart business people and seeing the wave and seeing what they needed to do to retain their fans, to retain their business. I keep referring to like these baseball teams as businesses this year, just for the fact of like the way we're talking. But like, like, think about the Pirates as a business. this business is failing. Are you going to blame the fans? Or are you going to blame the people who's running it?
Right. Do they invest in R&D? The answer is no.
Right.
If you look at it, if this was F1, they have a bad car. The new year comes and they're like, you know what we're going to do? We're not going to invest in the car because we don't have enough because y'all aren't coming out and buying our tickets. And you know what? We can't afford to buy a driver too. So we're just going to get some regular dude to drive the car. And we're going to keep running that and keep running that and keep running that until you decide to start paying for our product. And then we'll then take that money and invest it. You know what's funny? If the fans come out, guess what? They're still not going to invest. They're going to pocket the money.
Well, that's pretty much what happened in 15, 16.
This article from The Athletic pretty much showed that that's not true, Geddes.
It isn't?
No. The Pirates operate in good faith.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Like we've discussed this before. This is this is not his primary source of income, is it?
Yes and no.
No. Well, yeah. Who knows? Because none of the books are open, but it wasn't. I mean, he bought the team, obviously. It wasn't. He had, businesses, other businesses, but.
Gotcha.
Right. But he did sell one too. The ski resorts is sold.
So he's going to take some of that money and invest in the team? No. Oh, okay.
He's made money. Yeah, he's put some money in his pocket by selling that. But as far as his businesses and how he's now currently generating, I don't know, right? And again, I'm not going to allude to stuff. I'm not going to make myself look stupid like some people on Twitter like to do. But I don't know. But it's closer to his primary source, I would believe, because it's like the businesses have now narrowed down.
Right. Like Geddes, that article that came out that we just alluded to in the Athletic was basically when they added a new weight room was $8 million. They took that out of payroll. Like that $8 million came out of their operating expense or whatever. Like that's not how you run a business. And it's certainly not really how you should run a baseball team.
No.
But that's again, like one of the things that came out.
Let's talk business. If the company workforce says, you know what, we're growing, we need to expand, we need to buy, we need to make another building. They're not going to lay off 100 people to do it.
Right.
That's not what you do. You don't take it out of payroll.
Right. Let's see. So anybody who has any decent level of cognitive ability, right? If they read the article, right? If the team is being ran this way, how can you stay positive? No, ignorantly positive. Now you can still be positive about the team and say, okay, well, the team could do better. I hope they do better, blah, blah, blah. But to be ignorantly positive is an issue, especially when to be honest with you, to take $8 million out of payroll to put a new weight room, you're basically saying, look, we don't care if we win or lose. As long as the books look the way I want it to look, I don't care.
And this was after they won 98 games. I mean, they were Yeah.
And this is what I said on Twitter the other day. How can anyone, if people come at us, how can anyone defend the front office at this point? Right now? Now, could they win this year? I mean, anybody could get lucky and go into a winning season. And, there's opportunity, but they had such an easy, they could still add and probably end up being a favorite in the division, or if not the favorite, pretty close to it. There's still so many free agents out there. They just aren't going to do it. So it's like you had an easy job. You're not doing it. And I don't understand how people can defend them at this point.
And that's what I want to say. Like, I keep saying this too. And even to these people that are coming at us in that sense, but it's like, I don't hate the team by any means. It's like, there's a lot of young players and I'm excited to see what they can become because there's talent.
But how do you hate the team? You have a podcast.
How could we hate the team? Well, we've been doing this for 9 years.
There's people who have a podcast that literally just go off hating the team. Well, we know Brian Cornell. It's Brian Cornell. His whole gimmick was the Pirates are terrible and they're awful, and I'm gonna get all these listeners because of that, which doesn't exist anymore because people don't do the work. But anyways, we don't hate the team. I don't hate the team. I'm not looking at this team and saying this team's trash. This team's trash. And everyone should listen to us and realize this team's trash. I'm here telling you, there's there is some optimism about this team. The problem is it is so young and there's a lot of risk. There's a lot of injury risk. There's a lot of first year, second year guys. Like, are they going to develop and become that? You don't know yet. There's a lot of uncertainty.
There's
and they
barely
didn't go out
full
this offseason to mitigate that. You know what I mean? Like, this was a big offseason that you could have surrounded this young team with a lot of question marks with some more sure things. And with this weak division said, we are going to take it. And you didn't do that. You're banking on all these question marks to be positive. Again, the rosy colored lenses on. Like, you're putting this on saying, if this happens, then we can do it. And it's like, you have the ability to just go out there and be better. And you're just not. You're banking on a lot of stuff to happen. And it's baseball. Not everything's going to happen. Sure, O'Neill Cruz might be really, really good. And by O'Neill Cruz being really, really good, maybe Henry Davis is a bust, right? Or Henry Davis is really, really good. And then Henry Davis being really, really good, maybe Brian Hayes takes another step back. And, like for every good, there could be a negative, and it just evens out. And that's why you look at this team, it might be like a 75, 76, 78 win team. And that's not good enough. And you have the ability to make it an 80, an 81, 82 win. And then maybe a little bit of luck or a trade of the deadline because you're right there. Now you make it to 83, 84, 85, right? So that's my problem is this team is in a situation where if you had a better off season, you could be really optimistic about this team.
And that's the thing.
But they failed to do that. And that to me is a problem.
One trade for Cabrera or Dylan Cease, one signing of a pitcher, a legit pitcher, could have changed the public perception 100%.
They're trying. That's what they would see.
Yeah, and if it doesn't work out and you have a bad season, well, hey, at least they went out and had an off season. They're showing, change the public perception. And then maybe it'll change on the field too, because you actually signed legit talent or traded for legit talent. But they're just relying on maybe these young guys will work out. Maybe everybody will have a breakout season at the same time. Maybe we won't lose 3 pitchers due to injury. That happens every single every single spring training.
Do you think they're looking at it like the Reds? Because the Reds are a relatively young team, aren't they? Do you think that maybe that's what their goal is? The
Reds have that perception that they're going for it, and they've actually signed some more. They've actually signed guys or traded for one. It's just forget about wins and losses at this point. Just public perception, which they've shown. If they've shown anything over the last 10 years since we've had this pod, they don't care about the public perception at all. Which is why I was so much Bauer's perfect for them, because they already signed Chapman, which was a weird signing in itself, because here they were not throwing money anywhere. And then all of a sudden 10 million on Chapman, which they didn't really need. I mean, will he be an asset? Oh, yeah, he should be. But did they really need it? They probably could have spent that money on a pitcher.
Do you think that maybe they thought that was going to be the thing that pulls people in? Chapman, World Series, Yankees, Cubs, all that kind of stuff.
Here's what, who knows? But here's what I think. I seriously think this happened. I think Nutting at this point, he's not a baseball guy. We know that.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a bunch of yes men hanging around him.
Yep.
That are just, oh yeah, good decision, Bob. That was great. Oh, that weight room's going to look good. It doesn't matter that we can't sign anybody now. It's good. They have a bunch of yes men that don't want to give him a dose of reality that what he needs to do. And he sets the payroll. He did that interview with Mackey. And immediately after that, because they talked about spending, and he said, well, the GM's, Ben has the flexibility to go and spend. He has room to go and spend. Immediately after that, they signed Chapman, which came out of the blue for $10 million. I seriously, he came out of that interview and was fired up and probably went to Ben Cherington and said, go sign anybody. I don't care who it is. And Ben was probably like, I don't know, who can we get? And he's like, just go sign somebody to shut them up. He's winging it at this point. And I believe that. I believe that 100%. That's what happened. And I think that's how we got Chapman. And now we had this Keller extension, which also just randomly happened, coincidence, after the Nesbitt article. Now, I don't believe that was necessarily because of that, because they were supposedly working on a Keller extension for a while. But I'm telling you, that Chapman signing was exactly what happened. Nutting went to Ben and was like, you know what? Go spend $10 million on whoever you want.
I'm calling you out, Ron. I'm calling you out right now.
Here we go.
Call me out.
you said the reasons we started North Shore 9. And I'm going to tell you the reasons why we started North Shore 9. And back then it was more negative, right? Because the Pirates were actually trending on. I mean, again, we started this in the offseason of 15 into 16.
Yeah. They were good. So and then we started
straight seasons of being good, right? And there's still a lot of negativity. And the thing about it was, whether it's good or bad, it was always the stupidest, dumbest, laziest takes, right? Ryan, you're giving that shit right now. You're the person that you hated back in 2015. Okay. So I just want to say this. That's not why, Ryan. That's not why, Ryan. First off, that's not why they signed Chapman.
The Chapman signing
this
doesn't
is
make
all
sense, though.
It's coincidence. And like I said yesterday on Twitter or 2 days ago, whatever it was, like I love the bit. It's I love playing bits. I love bits, right? And this is a funny bit about the coincidence of the Chapman, the coincidence of Keller. But come on, Ryan, you know better than that. You know better. First off, did you hear any smoke about the Perez signing? Did you hear any smoke about the Rowdy signing? The Pirates are so tight-lipped anyways. You don't hear about anybody.
Signing. Chapman wasn't. Okay, Chapman's like what, the second most money that they threw.
You just said said they should use the $10 million to sign another starting pitcher, right?
Or just allocate it better.
Cool. What remaining starting pitcher that's out there left is worth $10 million? Like that. The problem is they missed out on everybody. Do you know why they missed out on everybody? Because all the starting pitchers said, we don't want to play for you because you're trash.
Yeah, but so again, guys like Jordan Montgomery that's still out there.
Don't blame me for the way I talk, but have accountability on the damn organization. The starting pitcher said, we don't want to pitch for you. And we know that like as a matter of fact. If the Pirates were in on guys, they said no. They've taken less deals. There's one that took a minor league deal with Tampa Bay because I said I would rather not be guaranteed a major league deal and be with Tampa Bay than play for you on the major leagues. Right?
And agreed. And it's
going up harsh. I get it. But like this is the reality. They missed out on everybody. They had to pivot. Chapman was a pivot move. They couldn't get starting pitchers. So what's the next best thing we can do? Shore up the bullpen. Don't do this, Ryan. Don't be the person you hated back in 2015.
So why not spend the $10 million to help go get Jordan Montgomery?
Well, because they're not going to do that. Well, and also, Ryan, Jordan Montgomery once again has to say, I want to pitch for you. And I'm not too comfortable knowing that he's going to.
Hold on. Stop. So would Jordan Montgomery accept the $10 million a year contract?
Well, no.
First off, it's going to be a multi-year deal, $20 million plus, and probably at least 4 years.
Okay. And that's part of the problem. The Pirates don't want to give out these multi-year deals. But again,
and that's the issues. They don't want to spend the money.
Free agents don't want to come there, but that's a bed that they created. Like they that's because of how bad they've been for so many years. They need to change that perception and they got to overpay for somebody.
They're going to pull in. You have to spend.
Yeah. Yes. They're going to have to
I bring up Jason Worth time and time again too. Everyone laughed at Jason Worth contract. Oh my God, the Nationals gave him too much money. But you know what that did? That sparked something. That's what they need to do. They needed to overpay for Jason Worth to be there, to start building something for other free agents to come. And hey, the Nationals have won a World Series.
But
sometimes you need to overspend to get somewhere.
You're acting like, well, they lost out on a bunch of starting pitchers, so then they pivoted and went Chapman. What starting pitchers were going to come here? Who do they lose out on? Like what, Sonny Gray? I mean,
both the Japanese guys.
They can't afford it. They're not going to pay it.
I'm telling you,
they're going to pay.
That's matter of fact.
I'm telling you, Nutting is winging it so much. He gave Ben some kind of number that they can spend to. Like obviously, there's a budget, and if there isn't a budget, then Sherrington should have been fired a long ago, even before I thought he should be gone. But they set a budget, and I'm telling you, Nutting went to him and changed that. You read about this stuff all the kind of time after the fact, that how GMs or owners were just, shooting at the hip and kind of doing stuff as they go. I guarantee you he went to him and pivoted right at that point. That signing makes no sense.
I mean,
you didn't need him.
At any rate,
you didn't need him, and you could have allocated that money a lot better elsewhere.
I don't know if they could have.
The point is,
I don't know if they could have.
The question is, did they need him?
They don't need him, but now that bullpen is
so you just wasted the money.
So no, that's what I'm saying. Like now that bullpen's a strength. If you're not getting pitching in the starters, you know what I mean? Like instead of having a bad rotation and an okay bullpen, like they have this. I'll still say bad. undesirable rotation. I'll put it that way. It could become something. We don't
With
know.
no
Tons
depth.
of question marks,
Yeah,
right?
there's no
But
depth
what
at
you
all.
have done now is you've locked up and made that bullpen an absolute strength. So if you can wheel and deal, work something out to get to the 6th inning, like now it's game over. Think about like the Royals back in the day, get us the World Series. You know that, the ex-Mets fan, like the Royals bullpen, how it was, like it was shut down. That wasn't like that rotation was anything amazing either, but that bullpen was lights out. So that's what the Pirates are like. It's if we're not going to get ourselves anywhere near an average rotation, then like make the bullpen an absolute strength. And I think that's what they did with this signing.
There's teams that have done that. I remember we've discussed that before. Teams that shored it up and then they were able to make it through games because everybody else is good enough. It's like just make it to the 5th or whatever, make it through 4 innings, and then we'll carry the rest.
The problem with this team is there's no rotation depth. Injuries are going to happen.
No, there's a ton of depth. Just not sure if it's quality.
Well, right. We don't know if these guys can make it 100 innings, let alone 150 and beyond.
There's like 12 guys by June that will be able to throw a baseball. We just don't know how well.
Right. And so there's no depth, like as far as, if one injury happens in spring training to one of your starting pitchers, I mean, what's this rotation really look like? So to me, like I said, that the point that it was just money that the Pirates don't normally throw out at a free agent, and then it ended up being Chapman, a relief pitcher, who comes with, a little bit of baggage. Again, they don't care about the PR perception, whatever. It was out of left field. And I'm telling you, dude, Sawcheck or Stump or somebody's going to write a book in like 10 years. And when Nutting, who knows, moves on or whatever, and it's going to come out. And I'll tell you were wrong.
All right. Can't wait. The Clubhouse episode 304.
Can't wait. But I agree with you. I love the bit now because now with the Nesbitt article and the Keller extension,
with Keller coming out is fantastic.
I love the bit.
But like as long as that's been working on and like what it takes to put, like you don't have a PR thing to come out.
Yeah, I agree with that one.
Hit and then a day, not even a day, like have an extension done. Like I said, this guy was afraid. This guy waited to make a move to save $30,000 because if he made the move tomorrow, they would save $30,000. And you're gonna tell me he spent $77 million for good PR? He don't care about PR. He's not spending $77 million on it.
Right. And that's everybody that was applauding the Keller extension. Like,
and here's what I want to say too. Like, sorry, Ryan, just cut you off. But like,
go ahead.
People put some things in perspective. Stephen Nesbitt, in order to get quotes from those guys, had to send them questions to get quotes from. They knew this was coming. If you really wanted to have a PR thing and get this thing done, you would have did it the day before because you knew it was coming. You would have did it before the thing hit to make them look stupid.
You'd have to be intelligent and you'd have to care.
So stop being such stupid people out there. For the people that get hate and like, oh, whoa, me, you guys don't get as much hate as me. Well, stop saying some stupid ass, dumbass shit.
Right.
Be smarter.
As I say, well, that's why it all goes back to our group chat because that's what the fight was over, pretty much. Like a differences in moving forward with the North Shore 9. That's all.
Right. Well, awesome. I'm glad we hashed it out and we got here. Sometimes for those who don't know, people talk about a lot of this prep work and stuff like that. See, the thing about the Clubhouse, this is a natural, free-flowing conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're coming on the Clubhouse, you're not going to know what the topic is.
Because that's what I said.
Which I kind of hate.
That's what I told Donardo because he messaged me and was like, what are we talking about? And I said, so the thing about the Clubhouse is I don't really know from week to week. Like, I have an idea, but I don't know.
It's a free-flowing conversation, and we can discuss what we're going to discuss. We could talk about beef. We could talk about craziness that goes on Twitter, and then we could turn it to talking about what's going on with Bob Nutting not spending money.
But this was pretty behind the scenes as you're going to get with North Shore 9.
Yeah.
Besides us just adding everybody to our group chat, this was pretty behind the scenes.
But I want to say, I feel like this is probably like the most confrontational few weeks that we've had. Because again, like you left it, and then if we're gonna air some things out, but not really, there were some other situations going on. Jim left it, then Cody left it. So We've had some tussles in the background here.
But
the thing is, like, it's all love.
It's a
We all
clubhouse.
come back together, and tomorrow, not us, but like the four of us, like Cody, well, five, Cody, myself, Jim, Tyler, and Neil are going to be together in Bradenton.
You want to know somebody who flies under the radar, though? Tyler flies under the radar. I don't really ever see him get too upset. It's pretty even keel. Doesn't get moved by much. He's pretty. Yeah, he doesn't get touched.
DiNardo had to rein him in a little bit over the years.
Yeah, Tyler. Yeah, I'm telling you, Tyler's a different man. He's a different man now. If somebody was to look through the chat, right, and was like, "Oh, who's the parent in here?" Like, I would assume it's Tyler because of how much patience he seems to have now. Because I don't have no patience.
But like Tyler will, like, you won't hear from for most of the day, and then it'll be like, I just got out of work. Why do I have 130 texts and what's going on here? What I miss?
It sounds like a dad.
Yep.
Right.
He sounds like a dad. He don't. It's not me and Ryan are the dads, and we're the ones who are the ones who are riled and amped up all the time. So
yeah. But you got, the season's coming up.
Because you have kids.
Exactly.
The season's coming up.
Yep.
A lot of things are happening at North Shore 9. A lot of announcements happening. Good high profile guests. So there's a lot of stuff going on.
They didn't invite me to Bradenton.
First off, you've been invited. Don't even start there.
I know.
We
kidding.
got kids. Get us.
Life in.
You are in the state
going this weekend. And what's funny is that I was supposed to take I had to take a 20-hour class because we're doing some new thing, and I had to get my NMLS license. But I had my NMLS license back in 2017, so now I didn't have to take the class. So I probably could have went now that I know this yesterday. How long are we going to be in Bradenton?
For a week till
week?
Least Friday.
How far is Bradenton from Jacksonville?
5 hours.
Nah, I ain't doing it.
Yeah.
I ain't doing it.
Hey, the juice isn't worth the squeeze.
Juice ain't worth the squeeze. Now, if I would have bought a plane ticket and all that kind of stuff, then I would have came down for like a day. Like my whole plan, my intention was to come down for the day and come back. But I ain't going to be on the road for 10 hours. The last time I did that was when I was getting my car tuned, and I didn't enjoy that. So yeah, no. Y'all have fun though. What's the before we end the show? What's the plan? What's the overall plan?
A lot, honestly, like a lot. I mean, we're gonna get there tomorrow, probably like around 5. Make our Publix run, so we get lots of food and beverages.
Chicken.
I miss Publix.
So every day. Much like the winter meetings, if you follow along the winter meetings, we had like a daily recap, and we usually had it like with a beat writer, same like idea. I mean, I know like Mac is going to be there, Stump, Noah Hiles, who's now on. We introduced him. So like we'll meet up with people, have like a daily recap. Sunday and Wednesday, we're going to have our live pregame shows right inside the ballpark there. We'll have our Starbucks in the morning on Monday. We'll have our NS9 live Thursday night that week. It's our last night there, so we'll do it then. Every morning we'll be in Pirate City, creating content, doing stuff. Like I said, we're going to be doing a bunch of stuff. So a lot of stuff's coming out.
We're recording from inside Lecom.
Yeah.
Did you say that? Did I miss that?
Yeah. The live pregame inside the ballpark.
I was like, you buried the lead.
Ballpark again?
Lecom with the Pirates play.
Okay.
Because we're industry plans, get us.
What is
That's
it?
also, I also want to say this. This is very the humorous side of all this, right? So when Tim is calling us industry plans, we're talking about this, like,
which is a stupid take.
Regardless, right? Regardless,
take,
like, what was just funny was this has been in the works. We're waiting on everything to be like confirmed and finalized, like things we needed to have in hand, and not just like verbally, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're waiting on that to happen. And like I said, Tim's going about this energy plan stuff. I'm like, oh God, this is going to like, what if we get this stuff tomorrow? We make this, because I'm waiting on this stuff to make the announcement. Again, like we've known this is happening, but we needed true documentation first before we were going to make this announcement. And I'm like, what if we get this tomorrow? And like, he's calling us an industry plant, and we go off talking about we're not. And then tomorrow it's like, hey, we're going to be inside the Pirates ballpark doing a pregame show.
Yeah.
Well, that's what an industry plan is.
Yeah, right. So I guess it was good that it took a few more days for that to happen, but Anyways, yeah, we'll be doing
I
live pregame shows.
I do have a final request. So obviously, when the winter meetings, there were some fun stories that happened that I asked about when they were not relinquished to me on the Clubhouse episode we did after the winter meeting. So y'all have some fun, and remember your stories. So when I ask, I get an answer instead of a generic. It was fun. It was okay.
What stories and what were you told?
Like the chicken, the trying the different types of chicken.
Okay.
And all that kind of stuff.
You want to create some beef here? You want to create some beef here?
Did you sacrifice a live chicken?
No. Maybe I should have. No, we went to Hattie B's and tried their hot chicken. I think we talked about that on here. Cody still hasn't done that video.
No, we didn't.
It's February 23rd, which means January 6th. January 6th.
January 6th.
We're now 2.5 months since that happened, and this video's still not edited, Cody. Come on, bro. Come on. But anyways, there wasn't like too many like stories in that sense. Now this week there probably will be. There better be. But there was
Jim wouldn't divulge them to me during the Clubhouse. It's like Jim is not telling me nothing that happened, and they're like, "Oh, well, this happened and this happened and this," and I'm like, "What the." Give me the info. I need it from a show.
Listen,
give me the info.
The winter meetings, like we talk about, it's advantageous for us. It's not an event for like people or fans to go to because it's boring. The
fans do go though.
Baseball
autograph seekers.
Well, okay, yeah, autograph seekers. But like it's just a bunch of baseball people having meetings. There's not stories that come out of that.
No, I'm not talking about the stories at the winter meetings. I'm talking about the stories that lead up to the winter meetings and afterward. All the stuff that goes on, but like instead of just being like, there's fun things that happens outside of just going to the winter meetings. When you go on a trip, when you go on a bachelor party, right?
You're saying like the North Shore 9 stories.
The point I'm making. You're comparing a bachelor party to the MLB winter meetings.
No. Then you compared yourself to Michael Jordan. Like
I didn't see you doing that to me.
You see what I'm saying is that there's like the main story, right? And then there's subplots. I'm asking for subplots, and it's like, well, I don't want to discuss the subplots. I only want.
We were at the hotel basically from like 7 a.m. till like midnight.
Doing nothing. Oh, then y'all are just boring. I should have went.
No. At the winter meeting.
Well, we how do you think this stuff came about that we're doing in Bradenton? I mean, we had some connections.
I don't care.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You don't care. There's nothing to talk about in that sense.
Get us. They were industry planting.
Yeah, they
were industry planting. That's what they were doing.
That's what this is. You know what, Tim? You're right. We are industry plants. We are industry plants. Just like Bobby. Just like whatever it is. We'll end the show. But remember, what's her name? Bobby what? The girl that plant.
What is her? It starts with an L, right?
It's Bobby something. Give it to me.
Is there an L or an F in there? I forget.
I forgot what her name is. But she was married, had a kid.
Yeah.
Then she got planted, got famous, and then got divorced. Interesting.
Also, if we were industry plants, would that mean we'd be getting paid by like the Pirates or MLB?
We would be.
I afford all his trips.
And we would have a million subs. We'd have a million, just like she had a million subs, literally overnight. And it wouldn't be interviews with just interviews with me on it, right?
Yeah.
You would have like Aaron Judge and people like that on. They're like, if that was like if North Shore 9 was to have a 2-month hiatus and then came back and it was instantly Judge. Why am I now drawing blanks?
McCutcheon.
McCutcheon. All these top flight, freaking Juan Soto, like back to back to back to back. At that point,
in our beds.
Huh?
In our beds.
Right. At that point, you can say we're industry plants. Bro, you know what's funny? It actually is a testament to how impressed he must be by what's being done. And it really shows you how impressed he is with Jim. Because if he was going to see, for him to say the stuff that he said, and then turned around and was like, Jim has to be a plant because there's no way he could be successful and also be podcasting and jet setting and traveling the world.
Which I
this
kinda,
is egregious. I wasn't doing this when I was making money and I had hoes. So Jim has to be a plant. And you know what I'm saying? You can
Oh
it goes to show you what this man truly thinks of Jim. I mean, no wonder Jim was nice to the man. Jim is thinking to himself like, damn, this guy's on my dick. He really loves me. He really loves me. He thinks I'm so good that I'm a plant. That I'm a plant. Because you Donardo, that's how well you're doing. That's how well Ryan's doing. It's so nice to see Ryan and Donardo back together. You know what's so crazy is that Ryan hasn't been podcasting crazy anymore. He took a little bit of a hiatus. And funny, after we were called plants, Ryan does a show with Donardo. It just all fits. It all fits. We're industry plants. He figured us out. He figured it out. And you know the reason why I'm here? Diversity. You can't have a plant if there's no diversity. You can't have that. You can't have that. It can't just be a gold team of white dudes. There has to be a black guy involved because if there is none, then it doesn't even look real. So here it is. Industry plants. We're plants. We're plants. Run me my money. Run me my money.
And as I said, where's my money? I assure you we're not getting paid from the Pirates or MLB.
Listen,
I will let you know
plants, we're bringing Root Sports back.
What?
We're such plants. We're bringing Root Sports back.
Donardo,
get us here. You brought up about diversity in the winter meetings.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, you got to get to one of these winter meetings. You
dressed like this, I think I'm somebody.
It's all 60-year-old white dudes.
Oh, they're not gonna want to listen to me.
But it would be hilarious, though.
It's transitioning a little bit, Ryan. It's a little bit better now, I'll say.
All right. Yeah, I haven't been to one since 2019.
I'll say this. All the people looking for a job still look all the same.
Look, it'll
Which again, like people seeking jobs, some tips stand out.
Those dudes
show some personality.
When those dudes see me, this is what they're going to be talking. This is what they're going to say. That's what they're going to say. They're going to be like, oh, did you see those Trump shoes? And I'll be like,
right.
Yeah. You like them, huh? Yeah, you do. I know who you're voting for. All right. All right. I think we can end the show there before I keep going. All right. Well, everybody that's watching, appreciate you watching the Clubhouse. I don't know when this is going to drop. Donardo, can you tell us?
I think tomorrow.
We think tomorrow, which will be today when you're watching it.
Smart.
It's always today. That's the good
thing. Wait, one other thing. You brought up Bucko Mike's rankings early in the show. I gotta call him out here. Geddes is on the rankings now. I've been on like 4 of these in a row. When am I going to get back on them rankings or get on the rankings at all? So put me on, Bucko Mike. Let's go.
Bucko Mike should. I even made the statement that he should put you on because I don't think. I think I was probably on that list 2 episodes into the Clubhouse. He put me on that list.
Yeah, and I'm back. I'm back, Bucko Mike. So let's go.
It doesn't sound like you're back anymore. It sounds like
my kids are back.
Look, and I'll end it with this. So Bucko Mike, you got to understand. There was things in motion, and the reason why life and aggravation is the reason why you didn't get your Clubhouse the last one. So here's your Clubhouse. It can affect my ranking. That's fine. I completely understand. That's life. Things happen. What was I? He was so pissed. He was so pissed at me that he didn't even tag me in it. He didn't tag me in it. And the reason why I don't respond on Twitter that much is because I'm just not on Twitter like that. So I do apologize. But yeah, he didn't even tag me. He was like, man, fuck this dude. He's like, I'm gonna put him at 9. I saw it because Jim made sure that I saw it. So he posted it. Jim was like, uh-oh, look at this. Bink, get us fell to 9. That's fine. I get it. I'm still coming with the heat though. So I'll end up back on that list somewhere at the top somewhere. Not unless you want to be what's the word I'm looking for? Disingenuous. All right, that's it. If you're watching this show, please subscribe to the channel. North Shore 9, you know how we do over here. We'll have another episode. There's a bunch of stuff coming up. Donato dropped some teasers, I guess, about what's coming. So be on the lookout for that. Cody's got stuff going on. Everybody's got stuff going on. The team is coming strong. So yes, like I said, go ahead and hit the like button, please. Hit the follow, hit the subscribe button. comment in the chat. Let us know what you think. Any improves that needs to be made. Give us your opinion, all that kind of stuff, because the engagement does help us. And go follow us on Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff. And what's the other one? TikTok. Yeah, the one the kids are always using. Yeah, go ahead. And adults, I guess they're using it too. All right, I guess that's it. Go ahead, gentlemen. Tell everybody bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Peace.
You all, thank you for watching. I know we try to provide the most entertaining content that we can, and we'd love to spread it to as many people as possible. So I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but if you could take the 5 seconds to like this video and subscribe to the page, it helps out so much more than you know. Thank you, and let's go Bucks.